anticipating. Girl, come on, make up your mind. Night of passion became a nightmare. When the flood arrived, I realized what a fool I've been. You don't even know me, so how could you love me? Let alone care for this someone a stranger. Forget about the life that I dreamed of. Turn over, turn over, turn over. Waiting, anticipating. Girl, come on, make up your mind. Repercussions and consequences. Should've known better. Wish I never met her. True to the letter, I'll never forget her. Waiting, anticipating. Girl, come on, make up your mind.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope that you guys had a great week and I hope that you avoided the gremlins that are out there. They're definitely out there and it's been something that I've been fighting against over probably, the last week since the last live stream. And last night's video, what a gremlin fest that was. And anybody that saw it, I was uploading a video telling everybody, or telling subscribers, about the playlists that we've got now, the decades, and different performances in different decades, so you can jump through like a time machine. But that video, I watched it through. It's only about a 4-minute video. I watched it through because normally with analysis videos, I can't watch them the whole way through. And if I do, I watch them on kind of ×2 so that I can just see that it's been edited together properly. But with this one, it's only 4 minutes. So I watched it the whole way through. It was absolutely fine. And then once it had exported the file, because I was assuming that it would export it how I've watched it. I then uploaded it to YouTube, everything's fine, set it to go live, don't worry about it. And then I saw that it's taken the intro from a video that I started working on yesterday, which I'm going to release on Sunday. So it had taken a part of that video that I hadn't finished yet and put it at the beginning of last night's video and then taken another section and put that in there. So yeah, the gremlins were having a right old laugh last night. So I actually re-edited that tiny 4-minute video this morning and re-released it because it was all over the place. But this is just what's happening, so we'll see what's happening tonight on the live stream. Hopefully they'll leave this one alone and you can see me, you can hear me, all that kind of stuff. First of all, you guys in that live chat room, I can see you in there. We've got Billy, Julesy, Ro, Dawn, Ginny, Gail, Diamond Girl, Squeaky79, Vera, Linda, Tammy, Laurie, Laura, Marco, Howard, Andre, Terry, Charlie, Tammy, again, Debbie, 123, Rockchild. Hello, everybody in there. Thank you for joining me on this very special live stream because we have hit a huge number. And whenever it goes up by, well, 1,000, we always kind of mention it, but we're now at 350,000 subscribers. So that is a huge number. So thank you everyone for watching the channel, subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, commenting, all that kind of stuff, and getting involved with the live streams, because this is where I get to interact with you guys in a live setting, which is great because I can see your usernames going through the screen and we can kind of get to know each other a little bit better than just, you know, leaving comments on the channel. But every comment is massively appreciated. So yes, 350,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. Right, let's get rid of that and shut everybody up. Let's get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are. And as for the likeometer, we'll get that, well, we'll get the likes goal up on screen because we're going for a new record with that. So 350,000 subscribers, amazing. And now tonight, to celebrate, we're going to attempt to get a new record, and it's 435 likes. That's what we're aiming for. Whether we'll make it or not, I do not know. But if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated. And if we do hit that target, we're having Phil Jam number 121, is it? I'm going to take a gamble that I haven't changed this and type in 121. If I look over here, I'll be able to find Joe's message. 121 indeed. So if we hit that target, we'll have a Phil Jam at the end of tonight's live stream. But yeah, 435, certainly a large target. So yeah, again, thank you guys at the bottom of the screen. They're the foundation of everything that I do and allow these live streams and every single video that I do on the channel to be possible in the first place. So yes, a massive thank you and 3 cheers for the people at the bottom of the screen. So finally, well, not finally because we haven't got the lights goal up. Let me do that because I always forget to do that. I always do what I almost did there and move on. But we are at 259 likes so far, which is a good start. It's not going to really help me with my maths because 262, we're looking for under 200 more. So I'm going to say 168. There you go. That's the number that popped into my head. So if that was correct, great. If it wasn't, never mind. But we're looking for as many thumbs up as we can get. Maybe we can get a spike of the lights going on at the beginning of tonight's live stream. At 10 minutes past 11, we opened up with Unwanted Stranger. That's one of my songs from my album called Persistence. You can grab that over at wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to go straight to that page. And yeah, download anything that you want there. Right, we have a cover vote going on as well. Let me mention that. It looks like You Know My Name is currently in the lead with 63% of the vote. But if you've got any Mr. fans out there, we've got Don't Slow Down. That's the other option. So you can click on either of those. And again, we'll be watching that later on in the live stream. I think we are going to be having a troll corner later on as well. So you can all get excited for that, as I know a few people do for some reason. But yes, it's been an interesting week with, yeah, trolls and gremlins, but not so many trolls. I think I'm quite lucky with it, you know, on the whole, because having 350,000 subscribers is a lot of people. So it does tend to get the attention of a lot of people that just might want to troll and write a silly comment here and there, but I think I am lucky with it. Now, something to mention about the last video was the playlist video. The video before that, I can't remember what that was, but it might have been the vocal coach video and pitch correction. It might have been that one. So anyway, the good thing about that particular video is, I mean, the way that I approach it, as I always do, is just to make it objective and just kind of point out things that, you know, I can see in pitch monitoring software and all that kind of stuff, and also explain about pitch correction and how it removes microtones, all that kind of stuff. So I did get a message from the vocal coach, who I didn't name in the video, and I won't name her now, but I did get a message on Instagram, and she did thank me for not mentioning her by name. And yeah, we actually had a chat on Instagram, and we share a lot of views about pitch correction. Obviously, with some of them, I mean, I said to her that I would never pitch correct her voice, but that's just my opinion, and it's up to her what she does with her voice. But yeah, we spoke about pitch correction, and the good thing is that she's a like-minded person, in that everybody's got their own views on different things, but if you just keep it objective and you can talk through things, then you can come to a common ground where you accept that the other person might want to pitch correct their voice, even though you might personally think that they don't need it. And, I said artistically, you can do whatever you want. It's absolutely fine. So that was good. So we, exchanged a few messages and kind of left on good terms. And she said that, she'll see me on YouTube. So yeah, I'll keep, I'll keep watching her channel and see any other videos that pop up, because I did say that she's got a great voice. So it's a great thing to chat with somebody, even though you've got a slightly different view of things, and still have a common ground where it doesn't descend into name calling, or what I think it is best, or my opinion is right and your opinion is wrong, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was an interesting video, because it had a lot of views, and has had a lot of views. They're still going on, of course, the views. But I also had another comment from Rumi Official, who's a channel on YouTube, and he's got about 7.5 million subscribers. So he left a comment as well. And, it's interesting, his point of view, because he was saying about, he uses Melodyne, and Melodyne is the program to pitch correct vocals. And he said that he uses it, and he said that you can do things in such detail with the program that if you record your music and you record your voice, even though you are singing it well, or you're accurate pitch-wise, you could make it even better. So he advises people to do that, and I did reply, and I did say to him that, well, it would be interesting just to have a conversation with somebody that uses it all the time, because I don't use pitch correction. So I know how the programs work, and Melodyne's just an example of one of them, but they all follow the same kind of principles. But obviously, as the technology advances, it means you can do it in more detail. And yeah, the interesting thing about his comment was that anybody that records their vocal and they're happy with it, they could make it even better. Now, the thing about music as an art form, I found it interesting, because there's no such thing as better in art, but because you're not hitting a particular value. But I think that's very much what the younger generation now are doing. They're applying a value, and that value is A440 standard tuning. So the closer they are to the line, they think that that's better. Whereas in the video I explain about singing with a string section and everyone being slightly out and all the imperfections, then matching that frequency. I also had a comment from a violinist who plays in an orchestra, and she said, yes, that's exactly what happens. We can all tune up, but then we are all slightly out with each other, and yeah, that's now for the singer to match the orchestra. So it's no longer relevant to A440 standard tuning. So you've got, classically trained musicians and singers who understand the principles of frequencies, harmonic frequencies, all that kind of stuff, and that it's really a living, breathing thing when you're playing. And then this other comment that comes from the angle that even when you're happy with what you hear, you can make it better. So I think because you can't attribute a value to singing, it's like when you sing, there's never going to be a champion who wins singing, and then another person's got to come along and try and beat them at singing, and then they're the new champion. It doesn't work like that. So that saying that you can make it even better, that's where I thought, it would be interesting to have a chat with him to see where the basis is for this better, of thinking that even when you listen to it and it sounds great, you could make it better, but it sounds great, so there is no better, So yeah, but it's interesting again, having those different points of view. That I think it might be a generational thing, that people that have grown up with pitch correction and auto-tune think that there is a line that you've got to try and get close to, and when you hit that line tuning wise, then that's good. If you hit the line exactly, then that's 10 out of 10 champion of singing. and you will never be, dethroned from your throne of being the champion, and you get a belt or something. So yeah, interesting points of view, but that's the good thing about doing these videos, that everybody can see them and everyone has different points of view on it. So yeah, that was an interesting one to address on the channel, but also great to chat with the vocal coach as well, because even though they're objective, it is very difficult to keep emotions out of it when there are either disagreements or different points of view. So it's great that didn't happen. And yeah, interesting video, I think. So yeah, I know that there have been donations, and this is the point at which I say you don't have to donate. Just watching the channel and the live streams especially is great, and thank you for joining me in the live setting on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. But I know some of you can't resist, so for that reason we have the donations tab up on screen that lets you know that donations made through the super chat window on YouTube takes 45 to 60% of those donations, and PayPal take between 3 and 5% of each donation, and there's a PayPal link in the description below if you want to do things that way, if you can't resist donating, but you don't have to donate at all. So yes, thank you for these donations. I can see Orlando's in there already a couple of times. Orlando donated $2 and said, despite the likes, thumbs up, great idea. And another Orlando donation that's just come in from Orlando for $10. Thank you again. The message is, blood type O negative is the universal blood type. Is E standard the universal guitar tuning? E standard tuning is used in all genres. Can you play any song in that tuning? So thank you for that, Orlando. And pretty much you can. The only problem that you're going to have is if you have different tuning. For example, we had Billy McLaughlin I did a video on recently, and he was using a unique tuning, just something that he'd come up with himself. So if you're trying to play something that is just a standalone tuning that somebody has done to their guitar, then it's going to be very difficult to play that in standard tuning, because they've retuned their guitar in order to get the notes where they want them, so that their fingers can reach the particular note for the melody and yeah, the chord shapes, or at least just the sound of the chords that they want to hear. So when you're trying to approach something like that, it won't be, but more often than not, when you're playing in drop D, for example, you're making a chord, or more often than not, it's going to be a fifth, or you might have the octave above that as well. So the first 3 strings of your guitar, if you just push your finger down, you're going to get a chord, but you can still get that chord without going to drop D. It just means you have to put your fingers in a slightly different place, or the normal place for standard tuning. When you're detuning and taking everything down, it means that you can still play all of the songs, but if you're detuning by a tone, it means that you're going to be now playing a tone lower than the song is in its recorded form. And generally with hard rock and stuff, you go down a semitone, so you go down to E flat. But yes, with E standard tuning, it's something that you can play any song in it. Is when you start to get into things like slide, for example, playing slide and playing with open tunings. Your strings are now tuned to a chord, so it's not how you would normally play the guitar in standard tuning. So for that, generally that's going to be something that you're retuning your guitar for playing slide. Even though you can play slide with standard tuning, but it's not what most great slide players will be playing in, because they'll be using they'll want access to chords, whole chord shapes. So that's why you'll hear players tuning to G major, for example, and then sliding up and down the guitar with their slide. So yeah, if you were trying to play a standard tuning song on an open tuning on the guitar, then yeah, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, but you can kind of work your way around it, because you've now already got the chord with the open strings. The only thing is that if you're playing a chord with the open strings, if you've tuned up to a major chord, of course, you'll have to now play a different shape to get the minor. You'll have to place the minor in their manually because it's always going to be a major chord. You can't play a minor chord by just hitting the strings and not adjusting what you're playing, so by fretting a note. So, and again, just saying fretting a note, that's if you're just playing slide, that's something that you're not going to be doing. So hence why you've got, but then again, you know, we've got Barry Gibb who, you know, tuned to open strings and would just place his finger down and he would be fretting the notes, so he wasn't playing slide. So I think it's just down to, you know, what you're into. But then again, you know, having said that, it proves the point that, you know, Bee Gees songs, for example, those can be played and are played in standard tuning, and you could be playing them in standard tuning because you're just playing the normal chord shapes, and then you'll look at, you know, Barry playing live and see that, oh, he's just placing his first finger across the whole guitar and he's getting, you know, an A major or probably a G major, you know, good example, going all the way up to B major as well. So, you know, just sliding up and down with that first finger. So yeah, if you're playing in standard tune, you can, of course, play lots and lots of different songs. So it's just, yeah, unique tunings you have to look out for. Right, we are going to be jumping into the PayPal window as well. So thank you guys for these donations, and we do address every single one. So this one came in on Wednesday at 10:20. So thank you for that in the morning. And this came through from Amy, and it was for £5. So thank you, Amy. And we then had another donation on Thursday at 5 in the morning. So thank you for this. And this has got lots of writing. There isn't actually a message, but it is a donation of £8 from 1960. So thank you. I mean, that would have been a very early donation, and they would have had to have predicted that PayPal would have been a thing in another 64 years time. But thank you for that. And I'm trying to figure out from the email isn't a name. It's like AEMDESK. So thank you for that donation. I'm not getting a name anywhere in this message, even though it's a very long message, but it says contributor 1960. So thank you for that. £8 donation. And Nicole has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. I have a metaphysic question. Do you put milk in your tea? I believe this is an English custom. Good weekend, Phil. Lots of sweetness. Rock. So thank you for that. And yes, I have milk in my tea. I think everyone has milk in their tea here. It's just part of, well, it's part of what we do. I think a lot of people put sugar in their tea as well. That's something that I don't do. I just have it with milk. And yeah, generally we have, in other countries, I know this because, you know, I have been to other countries, but they have, like, you know, peppermint tea and chamomile and lots of different teas. But here we have obviously all of those teas, but generally we'll have, you know, PG tips or Tetleys. And I think that's maybe classed as black tea or something like that. But we know the teas by the manufacturers of the tea. So yeah, it's everybody has their different preference for manufacturers of their teas, but yeah, we all generally have milk in it. Well, certainly in my family we do. I'm sure that there are people that have tea without milk and, you know, without sugar or anything. But yeah, here it is something that, yeah, it's just part of our tradition, having tea. And I looked this up at some point, and I can't remember whether this is actually what I'm going to relay to you, whether it's true or not. But I think I looked up as to why English people have tea, and you know, why, I mean, it's not just English people, the whole of the UK drink a lot of tea. So I looked it up, and ages ago, when they used to import tea from China, the tax on the tea meant that the government made a lot of money from it. So the government started advertising tea because it was their biggest money spinner for the tax. So that's why, I mean, this would have been, what, 100 and something years ago, I'm assuming. So yeah, 1900s, around that time. So by making more money, they advertised it more, made more money, and then everybody from that year until now, it's just been part of every family that they've all been drinking lots of tea. So that's how it started out. It was just like a product that was great for the government, so they just really pushed it. So I think that is correct. It might be false, but it's something to do with that. It was a product that I think the government made a lot of money out of for some reason. You know, whether it's tax on it or not, I don't know. But that's why. Because it is a bit weird how we're just known for drinking tea and liking tea. And I think once you start drinking tea, that's it. It's game over, because you're just then used to having it. And I'm pretty sure, like today and either yesterday or the day before, I forgot to have tea because I've been so busy. So I then later on got a headache, and I don't know whether that's a good sign or a bad sign, but I thought, is that because I haven't had a cup of tea? That I've had it every day for so many years of my life that when I miss out a cup of tea, my body's saying, hang on, we haven't had that normal drink that we have. So yeah, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it's just interesting how it just happened to happen at the same time. That after that I had a headache, and then I realised afterwards that, oh, could that have been because of that? I don't know. But anyway, thank you for that, Nicole. And Amy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Amy. And the message is, congratulations on reaching 350,000 subscribers. So thank you for that, Amy. And yes, crazy number, but we're going in the right direction, which is great. Tracy's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tracy. And the message is, we love you, Phil. Rock. So thank you for that. And Paul has donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is 350,000 subscribers. Most excellent. Congratulations, Phil. Let's have fun tonight and spike those likes. All y'all rock. So thank you, Paul. And oh, I can see this likeometer is creeping up. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you can continue to do that, that would be great. Going for a new record. By the way, if you've only just joined us on the live stream, 435 would be a new record for a Saturday night live stream. So we will see if we can get there. If we get there, we'll have a Phil Jam at the end of the live stream. Phil Jam number 121. But back to the donations. So it's Orlando who's donated on PayPal again, or as well as the Super Chat window. So thank you for that. And it's a £5 donation with the message, congratulations on 350,000 subscribers. We can help you celebrate by spiking the likes. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yes, you can indeed. And then Nicole has donated again, £10. Thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, hi Phil, I was looking for people talented and charming. I searched all around the earth. I will be back to Wings of Pegasus. Many bonsoir, so cool, greeting from Spain. So thank you for that, Nicole. And yes, thank you for the kind words there. And let me move. Oh, there's another one that's come through from Connie for £23.45, so 2345. Thank you for that, Connie. And the message is, hi Phil and Wingers, catch up crew for me. Have fun tonight. Here's a little something for having to battle the gremlins this week. Peace, love, and rock. Connie. So thank you for that. Yeah, it has been a battle this week. Maybe culminating in tonight with the live stream, but I think at the moment we seem to be winning against the gremlins. So we'll see if that continues. You can see me, you can hear me, which is great. We will keep an eye on it, but thank you for that, Connie. And Tammy's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 350,000 subscribers. What's your favourite road trip soundtrack? Rock. So, I mean, as soon as you say road trip, it's got to be Born to be Wild, obviously. But I don't... I don't have a motorbike or anything, because that's probably what you should be doing, not driving like I've got in an electric Corsa. It's not quite as wild as the song suggests. But as for a road trip, and anyway, if you're going on a road trip with an electric vehicle, you're going to need a lot of luck to find places where you can charge your car. So probably not a good thing to start with anyway. But yeah, I don't know in terms of the soundtrack what we used to have when we went on holiday and it was a long drive. We had Phil Bailey, George Michael would have been in there as well, and I'm trying to think back. Peter Gabriel would be in there. And I'm trying to think how many albums we got through in the time it took us. I mean, it must have been hours, but I'm sure we didn't just listen to music the whole time. But yeah, there's sometimes just a mix, like on the radio, of listening to, like Absolute FM, or there's another one that just plays all of the old songs. And I think Absolute FM is something that I probably had more at university, so it wasn't something that we listened to on the journeys. And there's another one called Heart 106. We didn't listen to that. There's a particular one, Magic FM. That's what it's called here in the UK. Or in London, I assume that they're in London. But Magic FM is where they play all of the songs from probably the 60s onwards. So 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. But then probably it stops about then. You might get an occasional hit from the 2000s. But yeah, it's all pretty much, on there you can hear, Motown as well. They do mix it up. So I'm not sure how far they go back. But that's the radio station. I think that we just used to have it on Magic FM. I'm trying to think of any other albums that we had. Mr. Of course, Welcome to the Real World, and yeah, I mean maybe with a combination of all of the albums that I've just said, or what would George Michael have been? It would have been early 90s, probably something like that. So Listen Without Prejudice, probably that one. Which actually, having said that. That was Phil Palmer, who's a friend of the channel. He played guitar on that album, and Shirley Lewis sang backing vocals on that album. So there you go. Who would know, as a kid listening to an album in the car, I would then later in life be talking to these people, and yeah, they would be friends of a channel that I had on YouTube. So you never know what's going to happen in the future. But yeah, certainly that album, and yeah, lots of different songs all mashed up together, and maybe Gary Moore as well, but more kind of run for cover rather than blues albums. It is very much kind of a more hard rock thing. I think that's probably all we'd get away with in the car in terms of having songs that were my dad's taste, and maybe, I don't know whether I had that taste as a youngster, but having that kind of rock side to it, hard rock, because it's a bit of a departure from all the other stuff you'll hear on Magic FM. So yeah, that's probably about as heavy as it got. So anyway, yeah, I could talk about that kind of thing all year, just thinking of songs from my childhood that Level 42 as well, there's another one that they were in the car quite a lot, which I've mentioned before. But yeah, so you start to get an idea that lots of different sounds going on. But anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on 350,000 subscribers. I hope you don't run into any more gremlins. What 1990s to 2000s song or songs do you think will be memorable in years to come? You are amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that, Debbie. And I think anything from 1990, I mean, I could literally just say what I said. George Michael, there you go. That would have been probably right at the beginning of the decade. Listen Without Prejudice that I just mentioned, that Shirley and Phil were on. But yeah, in terms of songs or songs from the 1990s or the 2000s, I don't know, I feel like we're already long enough past that. I mean, 1990s, 34 years ago. So yeah, some of the songs have already kind of been memorable and are played on the radio quite consistently. So yeah, I don't know whether mainstream radio would play a lot of. You'll get things like, Nirvana, and I mean, here in the UK, Nirvana kind of shifted the whole music industry from the whole, hair metal and 80s metal and hard rock, then going into the 90s where, bands like Winger, I mean, this is it. They say, which 1990s songs do you think will be memorable in years to come? I don't think Winger songs are particularly well known for that, but being a Winger fan, I'd probably say that. But in the mainstream, yeah, like Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. I mean, that's just a song that was huge when it came out. And I think it's probably consistently played, like even now, either on the radio or on TV, used in soundtracks, that kind of thing. So you've got that whole grunge sound. If we start naming songs, then yeah, we could literally be here all year. But in terms of the other styles of songs, you had, bands like The Offspring, and Blink-182, and bands like that were huge here in the late 90s, something like that. And then going into the 2000s, Papa Roach is a band that I said they were a little bit after my time. So when I was kind of at college and then going into university, yeah, it was all about kind of, Offspring, Blink-182. But Papa Roach, again, similar style of music, so their songs were very popular. As to whether they're kind of mainstream songs, I don't know. I don't think they'd be played on the radio a lot. But this is the other thing, like Avril Lavigne, for example, was huge here and probably, I assume, around the world in the 2000s. But it wasn't necessarily a style of music that I was listening to a lot or that I was particularly into. So there'll be songs that I'm sure will be remembered and be played on the radio all the time, but it's not necessarily something that I was into. And by that time in the 2000s, I was kind of, starting to think about doing music myself, and then, getting out there and gigging and doing all that kind of stuff, even though that's kind of college and university. By university time, that's when I was, getting out there and playing live myself. So I think I've always been quite focused that when I was now playing live, I wasn't spending as much time really worrying about what was going on in the mainstream industry. And that's continued until now because I know what the industry's all about. But thank you for that, Debbie. There's been another donation. This is coming through from Lisa for £7.52. Thank you for that, Lisa. The message is, congratulations on 350,000. It's been an awesome week for you. Thank you for all you do. Rock. So thank you for that. Yeah. I mean, the Gremlins have tried their best to make it unawesome, but it is, awesome to get up to 350,000 subscribers. Thank you as well to Bridget, who has donated £10. The message is, unexpected client call, so it will have to be catch-up crew for me. Congrats on 350,000 subscribers. So thank you for that, Bridget. And if you are watching this in the future on catch-up, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really helps the live stream to get out there a little bit more and for the channel to grow. On the whole, I can see that we've already hit our new record, 435 for tonight. The likes goal, we are at 459. So we'll keep on pushing. Let's see how far we can push the boundary for tonight with the likes. If you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great. And you guys in the future, if you're watching, you can hit that thumbs up as well. It really does help. Right, there's been another donation, and this is Lynette, who has donated £5, and Lynette says, I appreciate you. So thank you for that, Lynette. And, of course, I appreciate you and everybody in the live chat room, every subscriber that's watching the channel, because, it's great that we can all get together in a live setting, but also just getting such an audience is great as well. And, I think that it's one thing to have a lot of people watching, a lot of subscribers, but then it's another thing to have the community that come together, and like with the playlists thing that we did, it's people getting together and helping out, and all getting together on the live streams as well. And over on Facebook, there's the Wings of Pegasus supporters group that if you are a Facebook user, you can head over there and join in with the gang between the live streams. So yeah, it's very much a community thing as well. So yeah, thank you, Lynette, for those kind words. And Gabrielle has donated £24.99. So thank you for that. And the message is, helping Phil be a star. So thank you for that, Gabrielle. And Papa Nick has donated £7.52. So thank you for that, Nick. And the message is, thanks for your objectivity. So yeah, no problem. That's how I roll. And I think it's a huge part of, obviously, analysis, but analysing anything, you've got to be able to back up what you're saying. And I was just about to say something about a troll comment that I remembered, but I don't want to say it outside of Troll Corner. We've had another donation, so I'll try and remember that thing that I just did remember. Janice has donated £7.52. Thank you for that. Janice, the message is, hi Phil, does YouTube tell you what your channel's demographics are? I'm under the impression most of your subs are more, shall we say, mature. So thank you for that, Janice. And I think there are stats and analysis things, and I know that people love getting into this with their channels, and they think, right, I released a video at 8:23 and 50 seconds, and that did better than another video that I released at 8:29 and 39.5 seconds, and they get into it and start doing all that. I don't do that on my videos. I don't get into that. The only thing that I do look at is probably the first half an hour after I've released a video, because then I can gauge whether YouTube is telling people about it or not. So yeah, that's what I keep an eye on. But I don't have time to kind of get into all of the analytics and all that kind of stuff. But I think that the demographic is an older demographic. Rather, I don't have a young audience, because I don't think, like, the young audience, say teenagers or even maybe people in their early 20s, necessarily have a deep understanding. If they're just fans of music, they don't have a deep understanding of pitch correction and auto-tune and the music that's being released nowadays. They don't realise what's being applied to it, because they just accept it that, oh, this music is the music and I listen to the music, and then listen to the old music. And a lot of actually the younger generation listen to the older music and can tell that something's different about it, but they don't know what it is. But yeah, they don't necessarily appreciate the technology side of it, because they just kind of know how it is. Obviously, I'm not talking about producers, but then even still, if you're talking about a producer being a teenager, it's not a normal thing. I mean, it might be more prevalent in different styles of music, that you might have a teenager who's producing tracks and releasing them, but it's not a common thing. So I think the videos that I'm doing, because they're not really reaction videos, they're analysis videos, we could be looking at a 3 or 4 minute song for 20 minutes, because we're explaining things about the song, and we're kind of getting into pitch monitoring software, all that kind of stuff. So for somebody just wanting to watch a video or a reaction, then I don't think the younger viewers are going to stick around for me explaining things about equal and just temperament and frequencies and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would say that the demographic is probably around my age and older. So yeah, I'm in my 40s, so it's kind of around there. And people that have listened to music for a long time, because to understand more about music, to appreciate it more, I think the older you get, the more you appreciate what artists are doing, especially when analysing it, which is why I enjoy doing it. So anyway, thank you for that, Janice. And Laura has donated £10. Thank you for that, Laura. And the message is, hair looks great. Any resolution to your student loan? So thank you for that. And no resolution yet. I just haven't had time to call them. And it's exactly the same answer as when I was last asked about this. I just haven't got the time to sit on the phone for an hour to wait to talk to somebody. So yeah, I'm going to have to do that at some point. But yeah, it's just keeping up with everything is my full-time job at the moment, just 24/7, keeping up with everything going on, especially when, videos start to have more views. It did calm down a little bit, but then even still, calming down, it's not really that calm. It's probably 2 or 3 times busier than I would have been maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, there's that, keeping up with things, but also I'm working on things behind the scenes. And when I'm doing that, it means that any spare moment that I get, I'm working on another kind of project, which I'll tell you guys all about in the future. But yeah, I'm kind of always keeping busy. I think that's part of just my nature, that if I think about doing something, I always think, well, don't think about doing it, do it. So if I have an idea to do something, I'll start working on that. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, is using up all of my time. But yeah, the student loan, I'll have to try and get a little window in order to organise that and get it sorted. But thank you for that, Laura. And Debbie has donated £15 and 5 pence. So thank you for that, Debbie. And it says, congrats on 500,000. That must feel amazing. I mean, it must do. I don't know what it feels like because I'm at 350,000. But thank you for that, Debbie. Obviously, put the 5 instead of the... I don't know. 500,000. Is that 350,000? So yeah, I'm not sure how that's worked out on the keyboard, but certainly something that I would be capable of accidentally typing in. So thank you for that, Debbie. And the message goes, I'm proud of you. P.S. You have a lot of Debbies. Laugh out loud. So yes, there are a few Debbies out there, and this is Debbie with a Y. And we've got a few Lisas out there where we used to, whenever there's a Lisa, we said, Lisa W, for example, having the first one or the first letter of the surname. So yeah, this is Debbie D. So thank you for that, Debbie. And David has donated £5 and 49 pence, and it's a straight up donation. So thank you for that, David. Right. There have been donations in the super chat window, so let's get through these. Jan has donated 50 Norwegian kroner and says, want to see you playing a fretless slide on. So thank you for that, Jan. And Totoro Porco has donated $2.79. So thank you for that. And the message is, congrats on the creation of your Wayback Machine. So yes, it's a shame the video didn't quite work out. Tried to tell people about it. But thank you for that to Toro Porco. And then Kelly's donated $49.99. Thank you for that, Kelly. And that's Kelly's first donation in the super chat window because it has a big number 1 next to it. And the message is, keep it going, Phil. So thank you. I will try my best, of course. Orlando's donated as well. $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, does Green Day have a huge in Britain? So thank you for that, Orlando. And I mean, they are popular, and or should I say, they were popular. I'm not even sure if they're kind of out touring again, but I maybe saw that they were starting again. But yeah, I would say that they are a very well-known band, so they would have a large following here in the UK. And yeah, I suppose they're, going back to when I was teaching guitar and, teaching in the shop that I used to teach in, there were a lot of Green Day songs that I was teaching to kids. So yeah, they're probably quite popular. That particular time, when would that have been? We need a time machine to try and figure this out. 17, 18 years ago, something like that. So they would have been popular around that time, which would have been in the 2000s, late 2000s. And yeah, Orlando donated $2 again and said, I meant huge following, my bad. So thank you for that, Orlando. So I mean, I'm sure that they've obviously with the USA being huge as a country, that obviously they have a huge following over there. Same kind of thing as Nickelback, even though I know that Nickelback got quite a lot of stick over in the USA, and just in general, I'm not entirely sure for for the reasons why that happened. But yeah, in the UK they've got a huge following as well. And I don't know whether that has passed over or crossed over from the USA, that people here in the UK treat them the same way that the USA does. I don't know. I don't know the backstory behind it as to why Nickelback are classed as that kind of band for dividing opinion. But yeah, I think they certainly have a huge following here in the UK, and I think that was probably, would that have been around the same time? Maybe around the same time that I'm thinking of Green Day as well. Debbie donated £7.52 again and said, sorry, 350, 500,000 is my prediction. So thank you for that, Debbie. That's a bold prediction. So, yeah, thank you guys for all of the donations. I mean, you don't have to donate, as I always say, but they do make a huge difference. So, yeah, they are massively appreciated. Now, it's almost 5 to midnight here. So, things have moved on very quickly. We're going to jump into Troll Corner just to get it done. Okay, so into Troll Corner, we have... the one that I remembered doing this live stream. Somebody said... I think this was the one that I was thinking of. Somebody said that this video is too long. I didn't reply to it, but I thought, if you're watching a video and you're thinking it's too long, why are you watching it? It's not compulsory. Like, I'm not making people watch my videos until the end. So... yeah, that was quite an entertaining comment. Somebody thinking that they've got to watch it the whole time. And I'm trying to think. The only thing that I can think of, and this isn't even a troll comment, so it's going to be a bit rubbish, but some people are asking, so it's just a genuine question rather than a troll thing, whether remastered songs, when they're being released, whether they're being pitch corrected or not, or auto-tuned. But every remaster that I've heard so far has not been, because that would be misleading, because remastering something is different to remixing something. When you're remixing something, that's where you dive back into the recording of it, so you can start adding more reverb and delay and EQing things differently and compressing vocals more or less and all this kind of stuff, and applying pitch correction. So that's mixing. When you then finish your mix, it's now finished, and you have the song as a finished product that then gets it gets mastered. So once that's then mastered, it gets released as a song. So now you've got the final song that's already been mastered. What happens is when they remaster it, they now tweak the mastering. So it means that they can kind of brighten the song by boosting the top end EQ wise, all that kind of stuff. So they can start to get different instruments to pop out of the mix a little bit more by boosting that particular frequency where that instrument lives. So yeah, it's nothing to do with pitch correction. So if I do ever hear something being pitch corrected and being labeled as a remaster, then I'll let you guys know, because that is kind of overstepping the line, because that isn't the process of mastering, that it should never include pitch correction. So there we have it, and I'm trying to... there's another one I just remembered, and a troll said something like first of all, they said that I was, very professional or something like that. So they started it with a compliment. And then they said, and it's not really a proper troll comment, but they said, using auto-tune on music is the same as you asking your hairdresser to style your hair in the way that it is done, something like that. So they were comparing auto-tune to my hair. And I've tried to figure out the correlation between the two in this comment, but I can't work it out, because my hair, it is literally my hair. It's attached to my head. So, and actually pulling on this lower part, it's actually quite long. If I straighten this, I could have the look of which video was it that I always look at and I think, should I grow my hair that long again? So, anyway, the hair is attached to my head. So if I were trying to use an analogy of auto-tune but comparing it with hair, it means that I would have hair, but then I auto-tune my hair, so I get rid of my hair, I shave all my hair off, and then I put on a wig that looks like my hair. That's what it would be. So that's the equivalent, because that's what happens to the voice. You have a voice, it then gets changed into something else that wasn't the voice. The old voice gets removed, and you've now got this new audio file that has been created. So there you go. And that's what I would have to do in order to get the auto-tune of hair. So that is Troll Corner for tonight. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll be back in a second, literally 5 seconds. And there we have it. He is gone. I was just looking at him, peeking his head around the curtains. Right. So we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video. Is it You Know My Name, where I've got the slightly longer hair, where I've straightened these bits? It might be. So that'd be quite a good link into this particular video, because it has 64% of the vote. So it's going to win the poll tonight. And yes, Don't Slow Down had 35% of the vote. So thank you everyone for voting for tonight. This might be the hair that I'm talking about, so we will see, and I'll see you guys after this. And by the way, we've got Kent Johnson on violin here, because it was a collaboration cover that we did together. So I'll catch you guys after. Rock!
If you take a life, do you know what you give? Odds are you won't like what it is. When the storm arrives, would you be seen with me by the merciless eyes of deceit? I've seen angels fall from blinding heights, but you yourself
And there we have it. That was myself and Kent Johnson on violin. Let me turn that down so we don't get an echo. So yeah, a lot of fun doing that cover and looking at it. I thought actually my hair might have been even longer than this. So it kind of looked like it came down to maybe here. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to at some point just tell my hairdresser not to cut it and have it really long. But then again, if it goes too long, it might start to look a little bit weird. That's probably perfect length in terms of not being too long. But obviously it's all opinion based. Right, so we have had another couple of donations in the Super Chat window. So thank you guys for these. And the message is, from Karen, the $10 donation. Thank you for that. And the message is, my daughter Kristen is 29 and loves music from the 20s to grunge, etc. She was horrified that Green Day is considered classic now. By the way, the playlist system is awesome. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, thank you everyone for helping put that all together, that playlist. Tan has donated €5 as well, so thank you for that. And the message is, what about making a best troll moments video compilation? So thank you for that. And I mean, we haven't had many troll corners yet, so we need to get a few more going. But I mean, there's lots of things that if I had time, I would do. And one of those things is making shorts. Not the ones that you wear, but on YouTube. Having shorts that are videos that are only about a minute in length. But it's having something that can include a lot of information. Like sometimes in videos, I say something and it's quite an important point about either the music industry or performing or something like that. And there are probably multiple points in just one analysis video where I'm saying something that I think, oh, if I cut that out and just had it as a short, it might help some people either, with their playing performances or vocals or anything like that. So that's something that if I had the time, I would do. I'd start to cut out bits of the video so that it's a similar kind of thing. Obviously, it's not going to be addressing trolls, but it is giving people information in bite-sized chunks rather than having to watch the whole analysis video to get those bits of information. But then again, if you're watching the whole analysis video, obviously you're going to get a hell of a lot more out of it than just 1 minute, because I'm not just expanding on 1 minute's worth of talking for 20 minutes. There's lots of stuff that we get into. So thank you for that, Tan. And Just Diney has donated $2. Thank you for that. It just came in and it says cool with the guy who's always too small to see what he's doing, but it's either a thumbs up or a rock or something like that. So thank you for that, Just Diney. Right. Now, this is the time in which I think, right, there's no picture corner tonight, so we don't have to worry about doing that. Let me have a look over at the Phil Jam message that Joe has sent me, and it's 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Wow, so we're going to have to jump into this. I didn't realise it's such a long one tonight. So we're going to be, jumping into this Phil Jam. Let me remember what I'm doing. Microphone. Forgot that last time. Zoom out. Am I fully zoomed out here? Yes, fully zoomed out. The red man and all of these things on screen tell me. So that's that. And we've got the gem plugged in. This is bump for Phil Jam number 2121. This one's for me. Gem. Overdrive, some compression if you can, volume pedal. This is a great foundation for melody. Don't forget amp mic done, gem got, and reaching pedals. Always debatable because it's always quite far away from my feet, so that when I'm doing the live stream I'm not kicking things over. So right, that there, cross legs, guitar a little bit higher up, and maybe clicking on the link is going to help. So we'll click on this.
Hey, I'm Kayla.
Oh, these adverts that I'm getting at the moment are for the voices that they say, and it kind of sounds like this. It says, I bet you can't believe that this is an AI voice. 95% of people don't even know that it's an AI voice. I think, yeah, I mean, which people are you asking that don't know that that's an AI voice? Anyway, this is from Now You Shred, backing/jam tracks, and the U is in capital letters. So that's the YouTube channel, and it's Crimson Style prog rock ballad jam track E minor. I'm just going to let it play, and we're going to work our way through, see what happens. I can't hear anything. Ooh, no. Oh, here we go. Okay. Right, I can now hear something. So can you guys hear this? Joe says level's good. We might have lucked out with this one. So I think this just might be this for like 8 minutes, but it's alright. Maybe we can get some other stuff going. I'll keep on this for a while. I'm just going to point out something about this. We've got 1, 2, 3. So we've got a snare coming in on 3 and. Just in case you're wondering why it feels a little bit kind of not as flowy. guys going to go with this? We're going to try it. We're going to try. Okay, I think it's maybe going to end. Maybe going to end. Oh yes.
Go what?
I had an inkling that something was going to change. The screen changed about a minute before the end, and when the screen changes, usually that means it's going to end very soon, but it didn't. But there we have it. So, I mean, that was a long one tonight, over, what was it, 8 minutes? That was the Fill Jam for tonight. And again, that is a Crimson style prog rock ballad jam track in E minor, and that's from Now You Shred, backing /jam tracks. Jam tracks. So, yeah, if you guys want to check that out yourselves and, yeah, have a jam along to that, then you can do. Thank you, Joe, for sending me that. Oh, I can see. Kathy said, where did you find your whammy bar? So, yes, the whammy bar is on the strap behind me, and it was exactly where I thought it was. It was in my microphone case, my bag of goodies that I've got in there for when I'm changing strings and you know, all my Allen keys and all that kind of stuff for my guitars. So yeah, I had just put it in there when I was cleaning up, not realizing that I hadn't put it back on my guitar. So it is back, and yeah, maybe next time in the Fill Jam we'll have the strap. Maybe we won't. It's just totally random. But yes, thank you, Joe, for sending me that track. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We have a couple of extra donations in here. Actually, a few. Orlando's donated $5 again. Thank you for that. The message is, that melody reminds me of Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Adam has donated $2.79. Thank you, Adam. The message is Phil E. from the charismative voice like to talk. So thank you for that, Adam. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that message means, but thank you for the donation. And Diamond Girl has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Diamond Girl. And the message is awesome jam tonight, and that's Diamond Girl's 10th super chat donation. So thank you for that, Diamond Girl. And we've had a couple of donations over on PayPal. Let's get through these just before we finish. Lourdes has donated £20. So thank you for that, and the message is gift/you rock. So thank you for that. And Vera has donated £3.76. And I think I just addressed this, but the message is, Phil, now tell me where you found your whammy bar. So thank you for that, Vera. So we are going to be calling things to a close now on the night that we have hit a new record for likes. And I'll tell you what, because it is quite a big number, I'm going to get this on screen again and hopefully it's going to appear. We have hit 350,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing, hitting that notification bell, all of that cool stuff. And yeah, just making everything possible. You guys at the bottom of the screen over on Patreon, but for all of your donations as well. You don't have to donate, so thank you guys for doing that. They are massively appreciated. Right, I'm going to be back with another video tomorrow night, another analysis video, of course, and I quite enjoyed making the one that's going to be out tomorrow night. As you guys know, I started on it yesterday because it made its way into another video because of the gremlins. But yes, that's going to be an interesting one tomorrow night. Look out for that. It'll be out at 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time if you want to get it exactly right and be there for the start of it. But yeah, we'll be live streaming again, of course, on Tuesday night. So if you can join me then, that's where I will be, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So yes, thank you for joining me tonight and have a great rest of your weekend. And yeah, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!